last month we told you about how Nathan, Uncle Nearest Green, was a slave who taught Jack Daniel how to make whiskey. You know, that was back in 1856, which is why, the numbers on their bottles for 1856. But what we didn't tell you was that today, the Uncle Nearest Whiskey Company, which is honoring his legacy, is headed up by an amazing woman named Fawn Weaver, who is doing her absolute best to bring Nathan's legacy to light. And their master blender is his great-great-granddaughter, Edie Butler. So that's really, really cool, you guys. It's run by black women in leadership positions. Not only run by women, it's run by black women in whiskey in leadership positions, which is really impressive and really cool. And they're doing great work honoring Nearest's legacy and putting out great whiskey. So we're going to make an old-fashioned with Uncle Nearest 1856. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of our whiskey, a 1/2 ounce of our simple syrup, and 3 to 4 dashes of our Angostura bitters. And a big shout out to our friends over at Reclamation Etch Works, who etched my personal coat of arms, insignia of arms. If you recognize it, you'll see it on my shirt constantly. In all my videos, I'm usually wearing this polo into this beautiful Yari or crystal mixing glass. So, without further ado, what do we always say? Round build. So, we're going to take our simple syrup, and we're going to add ice last, by the way. You don't want to build over the ice, because then it's going to dilute while you're building this cocktail. So, usually also, I know I keep saying so, I'm about to do something, but then something else pops into my head. I prefer to build my old fashions, whenever possible, with a sugar cube. But it just doesn't make sense to get a package of sugar cubes for like 2 videos. If you're doing these for 30 days, remember guys, so it's going to be simple syrup instead of sugar cubes, because you're only doing 1 old fashioned. So, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. A little over, that's perfectly fine. Take our Angostura bitters. Give 1, 2, 3, 4 good dashes. Then we're going to take 1.5 ounces of our Tennessee whiskey. Now, Tennessee whiskey is bourbon plus, basically. And I go over that in the book. So if you want to learn about what makes Tennessee whiskey, pick up a copy of Beginner's Guide to Whiskey, available on our website, which is linked below, or at Amazon. All copies coming from my website are signed for no additional cost. I'm going to just take this over here. The smell of Angostura bitters. I love it and I hate it. Now, traditionally, an old-fashioned has an orange peel. Unless it's rye, then you use a lemon peel. But I wanted to use lemon to kind of counterbalance some of the sweeter notes in Uncle Nearest. And need to remind you for the umpteen millionth time, I am not a really good bartender. I'm a so-so bartender. Clear a glass and ice that as well. Put some fresh ice in there. Basically use the same, strainer that we used to grab our ice to also fill up our glass with our cocktail. Now we're going to take a lemon. You want to go from this side, really, the top kind of pit end. A boss once told me you want to go pole to pole, north to south. I'm going to express that all around this drink. And there you have it. Uncle Nearest 1856 Old Fashioned. Cheers. See you next time.